Hey, I'm Zach.
And I'm Jesse.
Thank you for joining us for Tesla Time News, episode
28.
First story here is that Kia Soul, the electric version, has gotten a major battery upgrade.
Oh, really? So, like, hundreds of miles of range or something like that?
Yep, we went from 27 kilowatt hours
Yeah?
to a 30 kilowatt hour battery.
Okay, so what's the range difference?
We're going double digits to triple digits, my friends. That's right, 93 miles is the old battery.
Uh-huh.
That's nothing. Now you get 105 miles of EPA rated range.
So that's like 13 more miles?
Yeah, man, 13 more miles.
It's kind of pathetic. Why do all these car manufacturers who make these compliance cars, why do they make
I don't know.
them
They
suck so
only,
bad?
first of all, they only delivered them to ZEV states last year.
Okay.
And they only sold less than 2,000 units last year. So, I mean, I know it's a reasonably priced car. It's $32,000 MSRP. But, and it's a cool looking car. It holds a lot of storage and stuff. I know a lot of people that drive them that like them. But, yeah, why not upgrade the battery better?
It's so weird that these car companies aren't doing that.
Yeah, I don't get it. But speaking of great car companies, the Tesla Referral program has just been introduced again for a new period.
Awesome.
And there's some new little prizes in there, and some of them are pretty cool. Now, SpaceX tours are included on the list.
Wow. Okay. So 5 referees. So if you refer to someone else, you are put in a list.
Yep.
Or you're put in a hat, basically, and
Yep.
they pick people out of the hat. One person will get a free P100D Model S or X.
Yeah.
5 lucky winners will get all expense paid tour of the SpaceX facility.
Yeah, in Hawthorne, California. How
So
cool is that?
that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. 7 qualifying referrals will get an invitation for themselves and a guest to a Model 3 delivery event.
Okay.
5 qualifying referrals will get themselves an exclusive red Founder Series Powerwall.
Wow.
3 qualifying referrals will get a Founder Series Model S for kids.
Nice.
That's the little miniature electric car.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That has a working sound system, headlights, charge port, all that.
Nice.
2 qualifying referrals will get Tesla carry-on rolling luggage.
Nice.
And 1 qualifying referral will receive a pass for 4 to tour the Tesla Gigafactory in Sparks, Nevada. Got to say Nevada right.
I don't like saying Nevada. It's Nevada.
Nevada.
No, Nevada.
Nevada.
It's terrible.
All right, so what's the next story?
Okay, so there was a little hiccup with the EPA, but Tesla is finally delivering their 100D models of the Model S and the Model X.
Yeah, so what was the holdup? So the cars were ready to go, but why couldn't they be delivered?
They had to do emissions testing on them. They had to see how much, emissions they were emitting.
Oh, right. Yeah, you got to hook something up to the tailpipe.
Right.
And you got to make sure that the carbon dioxide levels are low enough. And
Right. So I think the trouble was that they couldn't find the tailpipe. I think.
Well, why was the EPA making Tesla do this? I mean, that's really kind of ridiculous.
I mean, they have to make sure that the batteries are going to be okay and stuff like that. So I think
okay.
that's
and the
probably
rated
what it was.
range and stuff like
So
that.
they finally got the rated range. So now we have updated numbers for all of the different Teslas.
Oh, yeah, check these out here.
So these are for Model S's. So the 60 gets 210 miles. The 60D gets 218 miles. The 75 gets 249 miles. The 75D gets 259 miles. The 90D gets 294 miles. The 100D gets 335 miles of range. And the P100D gets 315 miles of range.
Right, so we're talking about here that a lot of people are now getting their 100s delivered, right? Their 100Ds.
Right, so that's 335 miles of range.
Wow, that's so awesome. We're so excited for you guys to get your cars finally. I know it must have really been hard waiting those extra few weeks when you thought you were getting it back in February.
Right.
So check this story out. A Tesla owner tracks down a burglar.
Wow, so this isn't just a car thief. This guy went through their house.
Yep.
He found the car fob and he was like, great, I'm going to steal this car.
Yeah.
He drove it far away. So they sort of got home and they were like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
my house has been burgled, broken into.
Yep.
My car is gone. And so what does the Tesla owner do? He opens up, he goes to his phone He opens up the Tesla app.
Keeps his cool.
Right. He opens up the Tesla app, and he knows exactly where his car is.
Yeah, calls the police.
He calls the police. The police track down. They know exactly where the car is, so they know where the burglar is. They arrest him.
Yeah, I mean, this happened in the city of Escondido in California on March 13th. Next day, on March 14th, the owner tracked the car down with his mobile app to the 23,000 block of Clinton Keith Road in Wildomar, which is a few miles north of Escondido, where the car was stolen. The officers observed the stolen vehicle as it entered the freeway. They did a traffic enforcement stop, and they arrested the driver. They took him into custody, and there's no further incident.
So he was arrested for possession of stolen property and possession of burglary tools, and he was
Brought to justice.
So this is an interesting story because as stories like these come out, first of all, the Tesla owner gets his car back. He gets all of his stuff back because he was able to locate the guy.
Within a day.
Within a day. Just boom, I know where my car is.
Right.
Give me back all my stuff, which is great. But this also means that as burglars and car thieves start to hear more about Teslas, they're going to not want to steal them because they're going to say, oh my gosh, these guys always get caught whenever they steal a Tesla.
Right. They're probably learning about it right now watching Tesla Time News.
Oh, crap. Yeah. So for the burglars out there, try not to steal.
Go for, Nissan Leafs probably. That would be your better bet. So this is a really cool website here. Google has what's called Project Sunroof. And you go to this website. We have the link here below. And it shows you whether or not your house is eligible, is a good fit for solar energy.
Right. So basically all you have to do is type in your address and Google will pull up your house. It'll show a roof map of your house because they know roughly 3D.
They know everything.
They know three-dimensionally what your roof looks like. They know about the trees that are around you, the shading that it's getting. You put in your electrical bill and then it sort of spits out, how much solar they would recommend putting on your roof. Then you can also just scroll right down to see who are the providers of solar in your area.
I know, isn't that amazing?
And you can look under either PPA or loan or buying it. And you can see the cost savings in just like a minute.
Right.
You just type in your address and it tells you. This is amazing.
I was amazed to see that what a high percentage of roofs that were analyzed are eligible for solar. They say that 79% of all rooftops analyzed are technically viable for solar.
Right, so that means that there's just enough area on the roof that is unshaded for solar panels. And this is a total of like the whole country.
Right.
They've done a huge amount of calculations and scans over the whole country.
Yeah, they're not done yet.
It's not 100% complete, but
they're getting there.
They've gotten a pretty good average, so it's 79% average. But over 90% of the homes in Hawaii, Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico are technically viable. Obviously, states like Pennsylvania, Maine, and Minnesota are around 60%. But I mean, that's
still a lot.
Still a lot. Go check out and see if your house is
on the map,
viable for solar, and then call up some places and
get some
solar on your house.
It's so awesome. We have solar. I'm so glad I did it.
So you know how Tesla Autopilot is about 40% more safe than other cars.
Yep.
You're 40% less likely to get into an accident.
And that's just with Autopilot 1.
That's just with Autopilot 1. And so there's an insurance company that saw this and was like, whoa. So this is like a startup insurance company. They're called Root Insurance.
Okay.
And what they said was basically, wow, if there's a 40% reduction in a chance of an accident, then you should be able to get a much better rate on your insurance.
Right. Because
you're just less likely to get into an accident. So it's a very interesting insurance thing. It's an app.
It's an app. Yeah, you run this app for about 2 or 3 weeks, they say, and they monitor your driving style.
Right.
I guess they can tell whether you're in the center of the lane and whether, if you're a safe driver. I don't know how they do that.
Well, so basically how it works is they see if you're a safe driver, I bet based off of acceleration and deceleration and stuff like that. And then they look at your eligible autopilot miles, highway miles. So
to see if you're driving a lot of
if you're doing
places.
a lot of highway driving, they can see, you're going to be 40% safer during that stretch of road.
Can they tell if you're in autopilot or not?
I don't think they can tell if you're in autopilot, but they can tell if you're on the highway, which means you would most likely want to go into autopilot.
I would love it if our viewers would go check this site out, and if some of them were interested, maybe going and getting the app and trying it out to see what your quote would be like.
Right, to see if you could maybe save some money on your insurance.
Because, I mean, if this will save Tesla owners money and insurance, that's one more benefit of driving a Tesla. So the Royal Navy has gone electric.
Really? So like electric boats and stuff?
Well, not exactly.
But I heard they got a new fleet.
Yeah, it's a fleet of Nissan ENV200 combis, which are basically vans. And so they've got a fleet of 48 new Nissan vans to do.
Interesting.
I guess you still, you're Navy, but you still need to carry a lot of stuff around.
Right.
These are $22,000 vans. They have a 24 kilowatt hour battery pack, and they have about 109 miles of rated range.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
So this will reduce in particular, this shipyard's carbon footprint by 40%. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, way to go.
Yeah.
That's a step in the right direction.
That is super cool.
And so they've added a bunch of charging stations in anticipation for that. So
yeah.
that's pretty cool.
I love stories like that.
Here's a pretty related story.
Yeah?
BYD has come up with an electric truck.
Oh, BYD is that Chinese manufacturer.
Chinese manufacturer. So what they're doing is they've created this sort of truck that's for truck yards.
Oh, okay.
So you're transporting trailers, not necessarily miles and miles, just around a truck yard, where usually you'd have to, have a diesel truck running for hours and hours and hours,
right,
because you have to move all these trailers around. So what they've developed is a 209 kilowatt hour battery pack truck, enabling about 15 hours of operation between charges. So instead of having a diesel truck running for 15 hours at a time, you are now able to run an electric truck.
That's so great. Now, this is I think the company is actually making these trucks in the city of Lancaster in California,
Yep.
which is north of LA. And the places where this is going online are in the city of Fontana. So this is a quote from Stella Lee, who's the president of BYD. She says, "With this project, California is proving to critics that clean air and job creation are not mutually exclusive. BYD is proud of its role in this project as the provider of 27 zero-emission all-electric trucks that are coming from our manufacturing facility in the city of Lancaster, Los Angeles County. Our electric trucks are safe and reliable, and every purchase of a BYD electric truck in California helps support local job creation."
Wow. So these trucks are a lot more expensive than diesel-powered ones.
Okay.
So they're each one is about $300,000.
Okay.
However, every year they can save up to $25,000 in both fuel and maintenance costs.
That's huge because, I mean, one of the factors that makes it so expensive to own a truck is the fact that they need lots of maintenance.
And lots of fuel.
And
so what they've done at Daylight Transportation in the city of Fontana is that they are installing 600 kilowatt solar array.
Wow.
And so they're going to use that to charge all their trucks.
That's so smart.
Yeah.
Wow, I love stories like that. So Intel is buying Mobileye for $15 billion.
Wow. So the company turned a significant profit of $108 million last year on a $350 million in revenue from the sales of its driver assist system.
Right. Yeah, they sell to a lot of auto manufacturers around the world. They used to actually sell to Tesla, right? The
Right.
AP1 that we have in this car was built by Mobileye.
Right. The reason that this is newsworthy, I think, is because Mobileye was valued at about $10 billion.
Okay.
But Intel came and picked it up for $15 billion. And that's because I think Intel sort of realized, oh my goodness, we need to be getting into the autonomous car market because, we are a chipset manufacturer,
Right.
and we need to be, working on this stuff.
Right.
The interesting thing here means that Tesla, who is now developing their own autonomous platform, chipset kind of computer system, that means that
Tesla is basically equal to, that segment of Tesla is basically equal to Mobileye.
Right. You sort of think of Tesla as just being a car manufacturer, when of course it isn't. They do solar, they do battery backup systems, battery, all sorts of stuff. But having the tech to be able to create an autonomous car means that is another value because they could be selling this technology to other car manufacturers in the future.
Exactly. When people short Tesla stock or talk about how it's not worth that much money as a company, think about this. If Mobileye was just valued at $15 billion, Tesla is valued right now, market cap at $42 billion.
Right.
$15 billion of that you should think of as the equivalent of the Mobileye section, of the IQ section.
Right.
And then on top of that, you've got the car manufacturing section, you've got the solar section, you've got the battery storage section, you've got the Boring Company, you've got whatever else Elon is working on.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's definitely worth a lot more, I think, than many people understand. Speaking of money, Tesla raised $1.2 billion by selling 1.3 million shares and $850 million in convertible notes to raise money for the Model 3 release. Elon bought $25 million worth of that stock release, or 95,000 shares,
Wow.
showing that he's completely committed to this capital raise. And I want to point out that is, yes, it's a dilution of the stock. So whenever a company sells more stock, your stock is worth a little bit less. But in this case, it's less than 1% stock dilution. So you shouldn't be too worried that, oh my gosh, my stock is worth less. It wasn't much of a stock dilution, and they raised the money that they're going to need to make sure they have a really solid launch. So I think this is really good news all the way around. Just to point out, Elon has a huge stake in the company.
Yeah.
He has a $9 billion stake in the $42.5 billion company.
Wow.
So we always like to take comments from our viewers, and this week is no exception. Corey Goodwin said, "You guys didn't mention the battery system that Tesla put in Kauai." And you were absolutely right.
Yeah, we were busy. We were on the road. We were in Savannah, Georgia. We were recording it at midnight.
Were sick.
Yeah. So that one sort of flew under our radar.
We knew about the story and we were really excited about it, but for whatever reason it was, we
forgot to record it. Yeah.
So let's just cover it now. So basically, Tesla is installing 52 megawatt hours of power packs, which is 272 individual units, along with 13 megawatts of solar farm.
That's about 55,000 solar panels.
Isn't that a lot?
That
That's
is
awesome.
a lot.
So there's about 30,000 customers on Kauai, which is a small Hawaiian island.
And they already had a pretty significant solar capacity, but as soon as the sun went down, they had to turn on their diesel generators.
Exactly. And how much diesel were they using to run those generators?
They were using about 1.6 million gallons per year.
Wow.
Of diesel fuel. And so now they don't have to do that.
Yeah, the way that Tesla structured this agreement is that they will sell power to Kauai at 11 cents per kilowatt hour, or a third of the cost of the electricity generated burning diesel.
Wow. So I mean, what a cost savings.
Yeah, so
first of all,
it's a win-win. It's a win for the environment, it's a win for Kauai.
Right, and it's a win for Tesla. They were able to put in a great system in Kauai. And I mean, this is just another example. I mean, we saw it in Tapao. We're seeing it all over the place. These little microgrids that used to have to just be diesel power can now just be solar, because why wouldn't it? It's, right in the middle of the ocean. It gets tons of sun. It's bathed in sun all the time. Of course it should be running solar.
It's just such a gorgeous system. I mean, the footage that you're seeing here, it's just such an elegant solution to the problem.
Right.
And it's amazing that no one's been able to come up with this solution until now.
Right. All right, so every week we like to talk about the new supercharger locations that are coming online. Tesla is building them all the time.
So many of them.
Yeah, so there are some new ones that are under construction in Warwick, UK, and El Paso, Texas.
There are new permitted ones in
New Rochelle, New York, and Traverse City, Michigan.
And they're opening new ones in
Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Legon, France, Klamath Falls, Oregon, Maribor, Slovenia.
Wow, that's a lot of new superchargers.
I know, just a week.
Wow. You're also seeing some footage here from a friend of ours in France who is showing off some new superchargers there.
Bonjour et bienvenue à Lyon. Welcome in Lyon. You are in Saint-Priest, where we have this new supercharger that has been implemented. Actually, that's a set of two. One being here on the northbound, going to the east, and we've got another one just across the highway that is on the eastbound road from Lyon to the Alps. Here it's going to be pretty busy in the ski period.
Awesome. And if you live near a supercharger, or you are going on a trip and you're going past a supercharger,
we'd love to hear about them.
We would love to hear about them. So take about 20 seconds of video, just sort of show what's around the supercharger, because I mean, the amenities of the supercharger really make it valuable. So we're looking for places to stay, places to eat, places to go to the bathroom, and places for Wi-Fi.
Yep.
And just
ease
other
off the highway.
Right, other attractions and stuff like that. Yeah, how easy is it to get to off the highway? Because honestly, that is some of the value of the supercharger. And just sort of let us know what you think, and because we would love to see different parts of the world.
Yeah, and Jesse and I just went down to Key West, Florida, and we reviewed over 30 superchargers on the way and back, so that you can check those out coming up soon.
Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. That just lets us know, hey, someone is going to be watching our content, and we should be making it extra special good. Also, if you hit the like button, it's going to share this video with someone else on YouTube.
And you're doing a great job doing that, because obviously more and more people are seeing this. We're over 13,000 subscribers, and it's because you guys are liking and sharing so much that more and more people are finding out about us every day.
Right.
When we went down to Florida this past week, we met so many cool fans, and they had heard about us through YouTube, which is fantastic.
So hit that like button. It's going to share it with someone else on YouTube. They're going to look in their feed one day, and they're going to see Tesla Time News. It's going to be because of you. So definitely do that. It makes a huge difference to our show and to other people's lives, because they get to get to know what the scoop is.
That's right. Now they know.
All right. Thank you so much for watching. Now you know.